what would you do? What would you say? Subtract 12. So we would take it, we'd subtract 12 from both sides, subtract 12. You'd end up with 5x squared equals 45, right? And then what would you do?
Divide by 5.
Divide by 5. So the next step, you divide by 5. You end up with x squared equals 9. And then what?
You gotta
Square root it. So we take it, square root both sides.
It would be plus 3, negative 3.
Plus or minus 3. There's your answer, right? Okay. Who was not here yesterday? Anybody? Okay. So that's what we did yesterday. This is one of the types. Okay. So then we also had this type of problem, right? How about this one? 7x squared minus 24 equals 18 minus 2x squared. What would you do?
Subtract x or
Which x?
You add x.
Which x? There's two of them.
Negative 2x added to the other side.
Okay.
And that would
Guys.
give you. And that would give you 9x.
Okay, so you'd add 2x squared to both sides. Because the goal is to do what?
On one side.
Get the x's on one side.
Then
So
you
we would end
add
up with,
24.
hold on, 9x squared minus 24 is equal to 18. And then do what?
Add 24.
Add 24 to both sides. Because then you get the x's on one side
9x equals 48.
and the non-x's on the other, right? So you have 9x squared is equal to 42.
Oh, 42.
And then what?
The 18.
You divide by 9.
Divide by 9 again, right? So divide by 9, divide by 9.
Square root.
Okay, so 42 divided by 9. That's a decimal answer. It's 4 point something. I don't know what it is. 42 divided by 9. 4.6. So you'd have x squared equals 4.6, and then you do what? To solve that, we have x squared equals 4.6. What do you do? Square root. So you square root, and you get that x is equal to, oops, 2.1. Plus or minus, right? Okay. So that was the first type, right? First type had just x squareds in it and numbers. Okay. What was the second type we did yet?
What with 2 x's?
Has x squared and x, right? So a problem like this. What if I said solve this? 5x squared plus 15x equals 0. What would you do?
The first answer would automatically be 0.
How do you know that? What should you do first?
You'll factorize.
Factor out what?
X.
X. So the first step is you're going to factor out an x. So you're going to take an x out. So what's going to be left in that first term? 5x. And the second term? 15. Still equal to 0. So this implies that one of the solutions is what? X equals 0. So that's this one, right? This means that x equals to 0. Because I could put a 0 in there, and I would get 0 for the whole thing. Everybody agree with that? Okay. What's the other solution? What's the other answer? You can leave it open. Nope. No, not 15 to both sides. Because basically what you're going to solve in the other one is this equation. You're going to solve this. 5x plus 15 equals 0.
It's going to be negative 3.
It's going to be negative 3, right? Because we would subtract 15. You would get 5x is equal to negative 15. And then you would divide by 5 and you'd get that x is equal to negative 3. Right? So that is the solution for this one. Okay? How many solutions should you get when you're doing these equations? 2. Can you get more than 2?
Yeah.
No. Can you get less than 2? Yes. You can get 1. You can't get 0. Okay? Last one that we did we started doing. Last one is this type. What's the last type that we do? You guys remember?
All 3 terms.
All 3 terms. So I'm going to do the first one on your work today. This is problem 3A. Okay, it says x squared plus 2x minus 24 equals 0. What should you do with these type of problems? If you can. Factor if you can. Can we factor this? What would it be? x plus 6,
And X minus 4.
x minus 4. So then you double check those, right? Because 6 times 4, that makes negative 24, right? And then the x's make the x squared. What's 6 plus a negative 4? Positive 2. Okay? So that is it. So what does that mean? What are my solutions for this problem? Evan, what's my solutions for this? Because you're going to do this today, and I'd hate for you to have questions that I don't answer. What's the answers then?
So it's wx squared. Am I doing
I'm asking you, what is the solution? What values of x make this true?
Positive 4.
Very good. So the answers for this are x equals negative 6 and x equals positive 4, because that makes those terms equal to 0. Right? Everybody remember that from yesterday? Okay. So what we're going to do today is you guys are going to work on problems that have all 3 terms, okay? And problems that have just the x squared and problems that just have the x. So on page 341, okay, you guys are going to do, page 341, you're going to do problems number 3 and 4 today, okay? And so you're going to do that. That's going to be turned in with the 1 and 2 we did yesterday. Does that make sense? And I'll put those problems on the screen too, okay? The cool thing is, you guys notice